Hey everybody, it looks like we are live. It's good to see everybody. How are you doing today? We made it to another Wednesday, and that's really good. And so I'm so happy everyone's here. This is part one, which is always interesting. So the young lady you see here is going to be what we're going to be doing. She's not famous. Well, she will be because I'm painting her. But I think this is going to be a very different portrait. I'm going to be able to go a little more deeper with the realism because of the quality of the light and everything like that. So that's exciting. So let's see who we have here. We have Blue. Good to see you. How's it going? So glad you're here. Patty, how you doing? We have Roy. Always great to see you. And we have Mr. John. How you doing? Total Pain Enterprises, John Payne. Oh, okay. So John's going to be right back. So you take your time, sir. And so it's always recorded, so you can always catch what we're doing on the flip side. So how is the sound, everybody? Sound good? So we are 1 minute into this live stream, which is fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, I want to work inside here. And what I did was I went ahead and, cut out some areas, the mask areas off. And I have a line drawing, and then I also have some landmarks, which is really good. Thank you so much, Roy. I have some landmarks. So this is basically the roadmap that I'm using to actually paint this portrait. So so that's basically where we're going, you know. Thank you, Patty. I appreciate it. So I have my mic real close. So even though there's air conditioners, a cat, and, whoever knows what, but I live alone, so really not much happening here. But so this live stream hopefully will go technically perfect. That's what I'm hoping for. So let's see. I'm going to look for, so you see this is what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to cover this, and this way I'm only painting in the middle part. I'm not going, I'm not going to have any overspray. One of the things I've been really working on lately, everybody, is neatness of spray. That's so important, because at the end of the day, that's really gonna, not the only thing, there's a lot of things that would set your work apart, but if your work is super neat, then you are going to really stand out. Meaning that you don't have overspray, anything like that. Okay, so I know Mr. Leahy doesn't, drag it. For the first one, he just drops it. And this way it doesn't move. Now I'm going to do exactly what Mr. Leahy, because he is the Magnet King. And I think he's on the road today. So I don't know if he'll be here. But if he is, that would be great. If not, I hope he has a great trip, Everyone's saying hello to each other. That's so cool. I love this community. I don't know where my glasses are. They were here. And a lot of times what happens is they fall in the drawer. Let me see if that's the case. There's always something in a live stream, right? It's live TV. You never know what's going on. Tim can't find his glasses. Oh, there they are. We cool. Okay, that's good. All right, so let's see. All right, so glasses got caught on the glove. All right, so we have our light mixture in our Extreme Patriot Arrow, and we are going to, oh, Blue, thank you, Blue, good to see you. Blue says he's still in awe of the Facebook stream I did earlier. Thank you. I really, really appreciate that. that was a lot of fun doing that impromptu live stream, you know. Sort of a last minute thing. I just decided to just attack, you know. Whoops, there was something. I have to go get something. Something fell. And if it fell, most likely it's very important. So let's go ahead and zoom in on the... Hey, Colette, how's it going? Oh, be very careful, Colette. You take it easy. Drive safe. So Colette and I had a class today. She's doing amazing stuff. So that was really very cool. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on the eyes, okay? So we're going to work on this eye, which is going to be the center of the painting. So that's what you always have ahead of everything else, which is, now center doesn't mean in the middle. Center means what is the star of your painting, right? And I'm just going to zoom in like so. And let's go ahead. I'm going to zoom in with my Pure Ref. If you all don't have Pure Ref, I highly recommend it. I always start with the pupil. You don't want to oversaturate, right? Remember that. Always time to come over, you know, go over it again. Light is always right. There we go. Keep in mind, in the beginning, we're just sketching, right? That's all we're doing. Just sketching. You have to stay extremely light in the beginning. I can't stress it enough how important it is to stay light in the early going. Go. And we can take our eraser and maybe make this line a lot smaller. With the Extreme Patriot Arrow, you can get incredible detail. Go. And let's work on this inner part of this eye. Remember distance. So if I want a smooth gradation here, I'm going to increase my distance so I get a nice soft gradation. And then when I want more detail and a harsher line, I'll go close. And remember, what we're going to do on one eye, we have to do another. Hey, Nameless, how's it going? How's and everything? Yeah, so this is an anonymous person, a model, and a photographer. I'm going to get his name, and I'm going to tell everyone. He allowed me to. I contacted him, and he was very happy to allow me to use this photo. I seen it on Pinterest. I loved it. I looked him up, and he agreed to let me have the honor of painting his great photo. And this is such a beautiful model, you know. Now I don't want to get too far with this eye and not go with the other eye, so I'm just going to do a little bit more. And then with the kneaded eraser, make sure that it's dry. Now I'm just going to tap away the training wheels. And the training wheels, of course, are the pencil lines. So you get rid of them whenever you can. And let's move on over to the other eye. Now we have to go ahead and, ooh, look at that, trumpet. Okay, so we have to go ahead and soften some of these hard edges here. And you're not going to soften them right away. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. There is an eyelid there, and what I'm going to do is, this one is too close. There is an eyelid there, but we're going to erase that in, so we're not worried about the detail just yet. Get the turning of that eye there. Oh wow, so Nameless is working on the Mandalorian Baby Yoda. Those sound fantastic. Can't wait to see them. Is that on your Instagram, the progress so far? I heard my cat. I don't know where she is. Okay, so I am going to very quickly So guys, is Coast finished with their live stream, or is it over? Let me know. I'd love to know. If you guys can let me know. I would really appreciate it. If you can check it out. Hey Rick, how's it going? How are you today? Because, I just want to make sure that, so it was done at 9. Okay, great. That's good news. Thanks, Blue. I appreciate that. So great to see you there, Rick. And as you can see, there are some harsh lines, but we're not in any rush, right? So we're going to take care of that. Right now, we're just mapping out the large areas. And let's see, let it come down here. Now, one thing you always want to remember. So when you see a dark line, especially on the nose, you have to decipher whether or not that line is going to be on the inside or the outside of the object. So this is actually on the inside of the nose. So that's very important to decipher before you actually go in, okay? Because that's going to make a big difference. You don't want to go too much because you can have some spidering at this point, and that's something you definitely don't want to do. Hey, welcome back there, sir. So I hope you had a great shower. Let's see. So right now you see, and I'm going to zoom out. So you see we have a lot of work to do, but we're basically just going to go down a center line. Hey, what's up there, Bill? Good to see you. What we're doing is we're working down the center line of the body there. And as we do that, just like in karate, where the most important part is, that's where we're going to continue working down, okay? So let's make this happen. See if I can move this over. Yeah, that's much better because we're away from the hot spot of the lamp there. And then maybe we can just lighten it up a little bit. Perfect. Okay. Brad, good to see you. How are you, sir? Better late than never. Hey, Scott, how's it going? All right. Starting to pick up in here. And so I promised we were going to go down to the nose. So let's take a look there. We'll zoom in on her nose. Make sure it's in focus. There we go, that's nice. And let's make this happen. It's nice and soft edge as we go down. And like I said, everything has to be built up slowly, especially with the white mixture, the light mixture before you go in to the medium mixture. And since it's light, we're going to increase our distance, and we could use our freehand shield, you know. Oh, thanks, Rick. I'm so glad you're well, my friend. Always a pleasure. So you're never really going to find a perfect edge. So you're just going to move around, you know? Sort of crawl along the surface. There we go. So you see, we're going to create that beautiful edge. And we're going to build this up, so we're not worried about, you know, building Rome in a day. We'll get there, right? We'll get there, guys. Oh, okay. See you in a little bit, sir. There we go. Just building, building, building. See how we're just moving down the center line? We're also going to start to get rid of some of our training wheels here. Not too many, because we don't want to get rid of the training wheels while we still need them, right? So our training wheels are, of course, our pencil line. So we want to make sure that we don't get rid of them too fast. Yeah, spell check is killing us, right? I think spell check is out to get me, honestly. So I'm going to work on the Cupid's bow a little bit. And as I get like lighter, I'm just going to increase my distance, that's all. And decrease when I want a harsher line. That's it. It's pretty simple, everybody. Simple, but not necessarily easy. Okay, so you see how we're continuing down that center, and Oh, thanks so much. I appreciate that. So thank you so much, John. He says he likes the subject. Well, I appreciate that. This is such a beautiful photograph that I have the opportunity and the pleasure to paint. So I'm going to get the all the information on the photographer. Plenty of time to soften up the edges, so no worries. We can start with our aggressive eraser, you know. Yes, the Nameless says they go crazy trying to find the perfect edge. I feel the same way, but then I was like, I better learn how to do the crawling, because otherwise, like you say, it's just, you know, it's so hard to find that perfect edge. Gonna lower that air pressure a little bit. A little something there. I don't know what that is. Get that off of there. And let's calm this down to this edge here. A little crazy. And we'll soften this up as we come out further. Always make sure you, when you're working in an area, bring those magnets close to the perimeter of your masking. And let's zoom out and see what we have so far. Not bad. We have a pretty good mapping out, right? And let's continue mapping out some of these larger areas. Right here, we're going to go ahead and let's erase this a little bit. Sometimes a pencil line, although is a great idea, could really cause issues trying to erase down the line because it's next to a very light area. So I'm going to be about 3 inches away. And I'm going to be pumping this trigger, and I'm just going to bring this dark. When I say dark, I mean relatively dark. And just start getting the anatomy of her face. Mr. Diekman, how you doing? Good to see you, John. And whenever you see something that just doesn't look right, like you feel like it's not looking like her, stop. Make sure you don't go ahead and try and get a likeness. That's a trap. Todd, how's it going? Great to see you, sir. All the way from sunny San Diego. So you're not after a likeness. You're only after the light, right? So don't worry how it looks, whether it looks. Just make sure what you're painting is true to what you're seeing, okay? So remember, that's a Timism. You're not painting the likeness, you're painting the light. So that's not even your concern right now. Very, very important. So where's Mr. Willie? Haven't seen him today. Or Wendy. Those are two of our regulars who aren't here. Remember, we're sketching just like a pencil. That's what we're doing right now. We're just sketching. But we have to know the anatomy while we're doing this. When you're painting portraits, you have to study anatomy. The anatomy of the face. You must. Of the neck, the face, because it's going to make you a better portrait painter. So anything that's going to make you a better portrait painter, you best do it. Oh, thanks. Patty likes my shirt. It's pretty cool. I got it years ago, back when this was the style, you know. It has all that writing on it, you know. Fun shirt. Thank you so much. So Nameless says, how is it a trap? I think that's a problem I have and can't seem to figure out what I'm doing wrong. Exactly. So here's the thing. You can't possibly have a likeness if you don't have all the pieces in place. It's like a puzzle. If you don't have all the pieces in place, it's not going to be her. So we can't think about a likeness. We just have to think about putting those pieces in place. Of painting the ensemble, painting the whole portrait as we go, and we will arrive at that likeness. We're not trying to get it. We're trying to. So whenever you say, "Oh my God, it doesn't look like her," then you're fixing the eyes and everything like that. That's when you see the tree and not the forest. So you will have a beautiful eye, but the rest of it won't go together. So that's why it's always important to paint the ensemble, okay? That's what Ingres said. Jean-Auguste Dominique Ingres, 19th century French neoclassical painter. So as you see, I'm just painting the big shapes, the big forms, the anatomical shapes, and I'll get to the rest. There is no rush. My only concern are the large shapes, the beautiful large shapes. And they're called the noble forms. And when you get into detail, so that's, I think, the reason why they're called noble, because that's what comes first. So you ever have, you know, your friend or family member, they're like a block away, and you look and you could recognize them, and you're like, hey, there they are, you know, but you don't see any of the features. You just see the ensemble of how things are actually coming together. That's the cool thing. So that is what we're trying to do. We're trying to paint the overall structure. So we have where, you know, the light, of course, is coming from above in the center, just to the right. So below and just to the left, there's going to be a shadow. So you see how the cheeks and the jaw, the jaw comes down, and you start to see how it turns away from the light, which is above and to the right. All this because of, you know, of the way I just masked off areas. It's very hard edge, but we're going to soften that up as we go darker. You don't want to go ahead and try and soften it up. It's too early to soften it up. So let's take our time with that. Oh, Blue says that they think they would dare to do a self-portrait. That would be great. I did self-portraits. I don't like them. I don't see myself as beautiful, so I don't really enjoy doing self-portraits. I never did. Plus, I felt they were a little too introspective. Self-portraits are brave. You look at Rembrandt's self-portraits, how brave it is to do them. Sort of naked to the world, not figuratively, not literally. So we're still sketching. Think of it like working with a pencil real fast. That's what we're doing. Hey, there he is. Oh, so you did one. Oh, great. How did it come out, Bill? That's not true there. I think it's great that you're doing a self-portrait, Todd. And that's coming out quite well. Now, when you erase, you have to be careful, because if you erase, you know, if it's still wet, you're going to damage that paper. So you want to be very careful, you know. Wow, 45 hours. That's a lot. Was it oils or airbrush? And here's an opportunity to start coming in with that hair, the dark. Oh my God, you spilled coffee on it. Well, that sucks. When I did the painting of Natalie Wood on a live stream about 4 years ago, I spilled water on it, and it was horrible. But I was able to blot it up and get a hair dryer and fix it. I like the way this painting is mapping out, you know. That's very important to have that mapping. Oh, okay. Well, what I would do, Dot, is I would do a second one and experiment on that, since you love the way the first one is coming out. And just go ahead, do a second one that, you know, that you don't love so much, and go to town. This way you don't have anything to lose. What do you think? Yeah, I remember when I started airbrushing, there were some paintings I just couldn't fix, so I definitely agree with you there, Mr. Bill. Here there's going to be some brush techniques which I'm going to do, so we're not worried about that just yet. Yeah, that is kind of ironic that I spilled water on Natalie's portrait. Oh my God, she was so beautiful. I had a crush on her. I seen her in the way her eyes looked in the movie Splendor in the Grass. My God, her eyes were just mesmerized, and and then to see Natalie Wood in West Side Story, oh my God, what's not to love? she's amazing. She was amazing. So beautiful. That's great. I think that's a great way to go, Todd. So let's do that. And let's see what happens. And keep me posted. So I'm just pumping that trigger, trying to get some skin texture. There's less skin texture in the hard, bony parts of the head. Like the forehead, the cheekbone. You're going to see you have a lot less texture. You have a lot more texture in the fleshy areas. And that would be like, you know, the cheeks, the lips, stuff like that. Yeah, John, she is. I just painted her so much in my life. Her and Greta Garbo. I mean, and of course, everyone knows I got a thing for Gene Tierney. So let's not get hung up on too much detail. Let's look at the larger shapes here. And before we do that, this is dry, so we can come in, do some erase action here. It's much softer over here in the corner of her mouth. Oh, that's great. I think that's fantastic, Bill. That makes me happy. So, I'm very happy for you, my friend. God bless. God bless. That is so great. Speaking to somebody who doesn't have somebody, that is such a great thing when we find that person that, you know, we really enjoy being around. And she's a lucky lady too. You're a lucky guy, she's a lucky lady. And let's not ignore the other parts of her. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in and work on her neck. And there's hard edges, but you know what? We have a long way to go ahead and work on them. Bill said he went through a couple of duds. That's cool. Ah, see that? Bill cooks, so that your stock is rising, sir. So we want to make her neck turn. And notice I'm about 4 inches away, and I'm getting a nice gradation here, which is really good. Let me move this over a little bit. There we go. There, so you can see what I'm doing. Actually, I'm going to use the little boys' room. I will be right back, guys. Talks amongst yourselves. So guys, I'm back, and girls, watch this. So I'm gonna be at this side. This is gonna be pretty cool. I'm gonna leave this way. I'm gonna come back the other way. Is that not unbelievable or what? How did I do that? I really can't disclose it. Let's see. Oh, you guys talking about food. Wow, that's good. All right, so while you're talking about food, I'm gonna continue with this beautiful lady. And I just want to make her neck turn and the base of her head here. You always want to follow the grain of the skin. Remember that, just like wood. So the nameless subscriber says he thinks that they're ruining the chrome effect on the Mandalorian. Okay, so don't think of the chrome. Think of the 1 second rule. Paint only what you see, not what you think you see. And just very slowly rework things. But make sure that, just like here, that you're not getting hung up on that area. Always work on the ensemble, but always rethink an area. Okay? That should help. And when I want to get more of a grainy effect, like in skin, I just increase my distance and pump that trigger. I know this edge is too hard. We're going to soften that later, so no rush, you know? So we have this little area of her clavicle here. And we're just going to start to make this area three-dimensional by paying attention to the edges and the values. And we're not trying to figure it out all in one day. Taking our time. Pull that up so you can see. Oh, so Bill's talking about chrome. Yeah, chrome is tricky, you know? It really is. But don't remember in that one scene in The Matrix. And this is important, so, you know, this may help you in the future. The part where the little kid is bending the spoon, and he goes to Neo, which is Keanu Reeves' character, and he says, the little kid says, if you want to bend a spoon, first you must realize that there is no spoon. And you know, I heard that years ago, and then I thought about painting, right? Willie, there he is! All right, Willie's in the house. Very cool. So, basically, if you think there is no chrome, you just paint it. Paint what's there. Don't think about chrome. So if you're painting the way, you know, it's just whatever it is, you're not so worried about it looking like chrome right away, right? You're just gonna be like every other element in your painting. So don't be afraid of it, because chrome psychs people out, like water psychs people out, like eyes psych people out. So remember, there is no chrome, it's just values. Values, hard edge, soft edges, that's all it is, you know? Always better late than never, sir. Always, always, Mr. Willie. So Bill says he's literally unable to not answer questions at times. But Bill does a lot of Chrome, so he's someone really good to get tips from, that's for sure. I don't paint a lot of Chrome. See, I'm not thinking about this looking like anything. I'm just painting shapes. And just following the grain of the skin, and that helps a lot. So I'm moving along the direction of the skin. Oh, that's interesting. So John says answers are in the reference. It's so true. They are there. You know what they say, it's not the answers but the questions that are most important. Let's move on down here. Oh, it's got some hair here. So this is cool. Get a freehand shield here. Some dark hair. Go. Pumping that trigger. So the airbrush I'm using is the Extreme Patriot Arrow. It's my customized version of the Badger Extreme Patriot Arrow. I've done so many different things to this airbrush to really tune it up. One of the things is I put a spring at the pack valve, I lowered the trigger, put a different trigger in. I fixed this little finger rest so it's all the way up. When it comes, a lot of times it's not fitted right. I fit it correctly. I also went ahead and changed the backing so you can have access to the needle. And I put a different needle in to get more clearance from the nozzle, which gives better, much better detail. So this airbrush is my airbrush that I go to. I work small, as you can see, and I do tight detail. I used to use an Extreme Patriot, I used to use the Custom Micron CMSB, but once I used this, it just, you know, it just blew my mind. Badger parts are very inexpensive. I mean, a fraction of the cost. You can buy 3 of these, actually 4 of these for one Custom Micron. So this is really wonderful. So I do customize this on my website, and so that is, you know, that's what I use. So if you have any questions, you might want to purchase one of these, let me know. I'll customize it for you. So let's see. Willie says, oh, Willie was at the racetrack. It's so nice to be able to leave the house. Congrats, that's fantastic. So this beautiful woman is a photographer's model. I seen this image on Pinterest. I just loved it. She's so pretty. And I contacted the, I looked up the photographer, and they went ahead and gave me the okay to use it. So I'm very happy. And yeah, she's just, you know, she's, I don't think she's a celebrity yet, but the way she looks, she very well could be soon. Like I said, we can't be in a rush to have a likeness, right? We just have to continue working the ensemble. That's what we have to do. We must work the ensemble. Oh yeah, she really is blue. She really is amazingly stunning. So what you'll see is when we do remove this, and we will definitely see how clean the background is. Even though we're going to go over the background with a dark color, we still want it clean. I just realized that she's implied nude, you know? I didn't realize that. But, you know, a lot of times they have implied nudity where they just crop out where she might have a crop top or something like that. So I just realized that. That's great. A lot of times clothes get in the way, you know, when painting the nude, you know, painting a portrait, you know? I don't want it to be about, you know, some shirt or something. We still have our training wheels here. We're not going to take them off just yet, but we will. So we'll take our time, you know. Oh, so Bill, you say you used to do more of the chrome in the past. Is that what you're saying, sir? So we're going to continue down here for a little bit longer, and after that we're going to go ahead and move on to areas where we're neglecting, like the ear. So yeah, I don't want to do just celebrities, you know, that looks like I'm a fan artist or something. I do fan art, but you know, I just wanted to just concentrate on, you know, creating a fine art painting. Oh, so Bill does little bits of chrome now and probably not spending a ton of time on it. I see. And oh, so Mr. John says don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, if you can hit that like button for me, let me know that I'm doing something right here, that you're enjoying the live stream and the portrait of the fine art portrait in India ink. Okay, people are going to say, you know, they say that, Tim, you know, why don't you do something else except the portrait and India ink? Well, I'm growing as an artist. And those who watch my live stream know that it's never boring, that it's always a progression of technique, getting more intricate and sort of pragmatically improving as we go. So those who are with us realize that we're on this journey together of working with portraits and using different elements such as shields and things like that, freehand shields and masking and stuff. So yeah, we do the same thing over and over again, the portrait in India ink and airbrush, but we are growing. It is getting better. It's a pragmatic progression. So, you know, I don't feel like I'm, you know, giving less. I think we're working together and improving on this technique and really perfecting it as we go. The great thing about perfecting something, you never get there, but it is the journey that's so much more important, you know? And you can see this area is much darker. So we're just going to start darkening areas up. and we'll work down. And oh, and fun also. Thank you there, sir. I appreciate that, John. I do have a lot of fun hanging out with everybody. You guys and girls are all so great. And I don't think I would want to spend my Wednesday evenings any other way. So we're just going to work a little bit on her ear here. And just we're really concentrating, making sure we're seeing what we are looking at, not what our subconscious wants us to see. Very tricky. And you know, you want to build up your details and your anatomical structures. You don't want to try and figure it out. You want to build different pieces of that puzzle to bring it together. So it's okay to stay where we are right now. Come back, reassess, look for other elements, and have a better idea of where things go. Everything is still very light, right? So remember, everything's light. We are not making major decisions at this point. We're not even worrying about edges yet. Edges come later, way down later. So let's see. The nameless subscriber said, "Oh no, they stuck their trigger finger with a needle, and now teach me to pay attention while cleaning." Oh man, yeah, that needle. That's a scary thing. I'm always scared of that needle. Always be careful, guys. We always have to. So as you can see, now what we'll do is let's work on this eye. It's a little interesting right here. So we're going to blow up this eye. Oh, no, we're not going to blow up her eye. That would be horrible. Put that a little closer. Very soft edge as it comes down. 1 second rule, everybody. Always the best way to go. That 1 second rule is our lifesaver. And so there's so much detail in here, but no, we're not into detail right now. We're into large shapes. We're just going to start getting some of the larger shapes of her facial features here. Pretty soon we're going to get rid of all the training wheels, which are the pencil lines. So yeah, Blue, that wow, poor Nameless, right? Oh man, I hope you're okay. Okay, so I always ask myself, where am I ignoring, right? So we're doing pretty good. We got a pretty good clip going here. Week one, this project and last project, week one we were flying through, weren't we? So we're at 10:30 and look how far we are already. Pretty scary, isn't it? But my technique has been changing, and you know, a lot more prep work than I did before. So, you know, So yeah, things have been changing for the better as far as my technique goes. Oh, so Airtod says that they go into the light box. The one here doesn't work for what I want to do. Oh, you're going to get a light box. How about a projector? For those taking my class, I have a lot of different ways, if you were to take my class, of how to begin a painting. Sometimes you would use, a projector. You could use the grid method. You could use, there's a lot of different ways. Those take my class, and we go really deep into different ways of actually transferring your drawing onto your surface. A lot of different ways, but that's only for my students. And I love giving this part to everyone. I mean, everyone learns so much, and it's free, and I always answer questions, so it's not like one has to take my class to learn how to be a better airbrush artist. I'm glad I'm able to give that. Yeah, the Vankio is really good. I heard so much about the Vankio having a half-off sale on the burger he has. Now, you said burger, like a hamburger, Bill, or is that the model name of burger? Oh, remember I said the hair, right? So I got sidetracked. Okay, so we're going to work on this part of her hair. See right here, this is all open. I'm really close, as you can see, and I'm really close trying to get a little more detail. Thanks, Brad. Yes, Brad says that we go in the inner sanctum. In a way we do, In a way, with my students, I really blow their minds, no pun intended, with airbrushing. But we go way deep into technology, into books, into looking at different artists. So if you study with me, you're not just going to be like, oh, you're going to learn how to airbrush. No, you're going to learn totally different things that you're not going to learn anywhere else. The best ways, because each project might be a different way that you might want to apply that to the surface. And so if you're working on wood, that's different than working on paper, all those different things, And so that's really exciting. Oh, it's Pico, Bill says, which allows him to get every close for small drawings. That's fantastic. Actually can work it with top down over your desk if you want. Very cool. So Blue says he's saving up for the equipment and lessons. The temptation was great after the Facebook live stream. Hey, when you're ready, Blue, I'm here for you. So I'll take care of you. So you let me know when you're ready. There's no pressure sales here, whether it's the airbrush, my fine art prints, anything. No pressure sales. When you're ready, I'm here. Colette is back. How you doing? Thank you. I really appreciate that, Colette. That's fantastic. And John agrees, and Colette and Brad. Thank you. My students, they're very loyal to me, and I'm loyal to them. So I really appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, I care about my students and the growth. So with a teacher, one can't fake that. It's either there or it's not. And a student will know when it's there. And so I had teachers who cared, and teachers who were incredibly talented, Colette's still sitting in traffic. Boo, I'm so sorry to hear that. Let me get a sip of grape juice here. One moment. Oh boy. Why do people do that? What is that? That makes no sense, right? I don't know where that came from. No tea. I'm going to get tea later as soon as that grape juice is over. I'm going to go get some tea blue. Yeah, I do have some matcha tea again. That's really fantastic with some fresh lemon. So I'm excited about that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this hair, but I'm going to squint my eyes and do the larger value patterns, but still go along the grain of the hair, right? You don't want to go at a different angle because that means you're just going to have to fix it later. And why do that? Roy needs coffee with lots of creamer. Roy. And Willie says he thinks that we all do it. Thanks, Blue. I appreciate it. Thank you, my loyal viewers that are with me every Wednesday night. I appreciate you all much more than you know, you know? And so, Total Pain, which is John says, remember the nested commercial? That's where the came from. Oh, was that the Nest tea where they would drink it and go, ah? I remember, yeah, it's so funny, you know. Yeah, you see that? Roy's like a cowboy. He drinks it the way it should be, right? Black. That's for sure. My dad would do that too. My dad was tough, you know, and he would just drink it like that. And I would, you know, when I was like in my 20s, I worked at the mall at a camera store, so I'd always come back with, you know, the coffee from the gourmet place. And I said, hey, Dad, you want coffee? He's like, yeah. And I says, it's black raspberry. And he's like, I don't want any of that crap. I miss him. Yeah. Black coffee's the only way, Bill. I hear ya. I love the way my dad would drink that black coffee. Me, I have coffee with lots of creamer. So I still, you know, I'm not a cowboy. I did want to be a cowboy as a kid, but alas, I did not become a cowboy. But yeah, I miss my dad. So, but he was cool. You don't know how cool your parents are, you know, until you miss them. So Bill's dad would drink black coffee and your mom would creamer. My mom would drink it with half. She still does. Actually, she can't drink coffee anymore. She gets ill. So she used to drink it with half and half, and I drank it with half and half. But when I would go to, like, at Barney's in Florida, that was a coffee place in the mall, and I worked at the mall, and I would always get, like, the black raspberry or some godforsaken flavor. Let's see how much... We're running low. You know, you become like an airbrush whisperer when you do this long enough, don't you? You actually sense when you're low on air just by the sound, right? And that's crazy. So I'm going to put more ink in my airbrush far away from my painting because we don't want mishaps. Okay, let's finish my grape juice. Dun, da, da, da. Let's see. Okay. All my grape juice is gone. Well, that sucks. Tea's coming up. So Bill says sometimes he drinks coffee with a little airbrush. What is it? Createx? Are you going to use... like Createx 50/50 illustration white to give it a nice color. Reducer, you'll die. No way. Don't do it, Bill. I'll come to Nashville and I'll stop you. That's too funny. That's no joking matter. You could die from that. Wow. The reducer? They don't make this anymore. They don't make 4011, 4012. You know why they don't make 4012? I'll tell you why they don't make 4012 anymore. Because it had a real, very deadly material in it called number 2 butoxyethanol, which had so many health issues with that. Just getting it on your skin is deadly. So be very careful of this stuff. Don't even spray it around the cat. This stuff. That's why you don't see 4012 anymore. That was it. That was the reason. And no one told me that, but I was like, okay, you're stopping 4012. Why are you doing that? And so I looked it up and found out about that one thing, which was really deadly and caused a lot of problems. I have a lot of that butoxy. I have a lot of the 4012. I bought a whole bunch of it. Oh my God, I have like maybe 4 bottles before it stopped, because with the 4012, it really burns it and breaks it down much better than everything else. Yeah, that's true. And so I'm glad you still have some there, Mr. Willie. And yeah, that stuff is really deadly, and I'm sure they were getting heat from the government, you know, so that's why. No other reason. It wasn't doing it for improvement, that's for sure. So as you know, the improvement was not there. The 4012 is actually much better than its the next version. And it's in many paints and cleaning products. So true. So when you see butoxy, I want you to make sure you're very weary of it. Make sure the cat's not around. Make sure that you have proper ventilation, because I only use it for the 50-50 white, so I hardly use it. In the beginning I used it right here, but that's only in the very beginning, you know. Oh, so Willie says he always used Windex to clean the airbrush. That's not bad, but the ammonia, airborne ammonia, can't be good. Mr. Bill says the real danger was they did a study on carbon loading with glycol ethers. Oh, I see. And yeah, so many different health issues, carcinogens, and having to do with the respiratory system. Yeah, so that's the reason. Everyone's like, Tim, you're bringing me down, you know? So, but yeah, we have to be careful. And I gotta practice what I preach. I'm not always careful. So I'm gonna cover up the ear. And so this is a value here, much darker than it is lighter. So I'm gonna hit this value with the light mixture. And you see, we're going pretty far, guys, right? Or is it a cigarette? So what's a cigarette there, Colette? Oh, so Bill says, yes, he's talking about butoxyethanol long before it started taking off the market. Yeah, when I saw, Bill, that 4012 was being taken off the market and there was a mass run on this stuff, so I bought a whole bunch from Spray Gunner. Like, probably last me a good couple of years. And but I have to know, because Createx was saying they're making improvements. I'm like, no. So I actually went ahead and did looked at the ingredients and what that butoxyethanol did, oh, with the chemicals, yes, I agree. And but then again, you know, everything's bad for us, right? I don't drink. I don't. Well, I do drink sometimes, but very rare. You know. I don't smoke. I don't curse. Yeah, right. You know, unfortunately, I do curse. I don't want to curse as much as I do, but I do. So I'm working on that. So anyway, so that's where we are. So so far we're doing pretty good with this portrait, right? We're going at a good clip, and we got like 5 weeks, 6 weeks on this portrait. So there's no rush. So I have news for you guys. Dun dun dun. June 30th, I'm going to finish the filming. I started the filming of a video from beginning to end, and it's going to have so many material for you. It's going to have 3 different camera angles, and it's going to be really great. And I think I'm going to launch it by July 4th. And it's going to be a how-to. It's going to be like taking my workshop. It's going to be about 3 hours long, and so it's going to be very exciting. It's going to, you know, so, you know, like guys and girls, when you have the digital downloads, you know, you're like, boo, digital downloads, because they can control, you know, how long you watch it or whatever. I'm going to have a digital download, but I'm also going to put it on these. So when you buy my course, it's going to come on this. And so you can take this. You don't have to be online. You can put it in your laptop. You can put it into your smart TV. And I think that's so much. And plus, no one wants a digital download. They want something that they can hold and say, I got this class here. It's great. And then you can put it on your computer. You can put it on your laptop and still have this. And if you want, let's say you're away, you can still access a digital download as well. But as I'm sending this, there's going to be a lot of material and so much reference. So it's going to be like I said, when I go deep into my classes, that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a workshop. And it's going to be affordable. And I think that's exciting, you know? And oh yes, Will, you're going to love this because it's going to be totally user-friendly. It's going to be like an online class or video that I would want to see. And so that's going to be exciting, you know? Yes, I will be taking pre-orders with that. So, but when I come out, definitely. And there's so many different ways that you can purchase it, so many purchase options, which are great. I'll even have a purchase option that I'm thinking about that you don't have to put all the money down at once. You can, you know, do monthly. So that would be something if you don't have it all at once. I know times are hard, but I never want money way under 600, my friend. Like 600's here, way down here, like all the way down here, like under her armpit. That's how the price is going to be. And it's going to be great, you know. It's going to be what I wanted, you know. Oh, thank you, Scott. That's so exciting. So guys and girls, how many yays are out there that you would be interested in this particular online video? Now, I'm going to be extremely giving in this. I'm going to, you know, like, who would be interested? And, you know, it's going to come with, you know, the line drawing and a lot of other things that is really going to help, you know. All right, so Mr. Willie is down, so that's great. That makes me happy, you know. So Scott's excited, so that's great, Scott. I appreciate that. And Scott says that he's unable to take the internet classes because of because of the internet. So Roy as well. So this is going to be fantastic. So I'm very encouraged, guys and girls. So I am going to have renewed vigor tomorrow when I continue. I've already done the drawing, the lay-in. So I'm actually probably about, I would say probably 15 to 20% done with the actual video thus far. So Colette and Scott and Willie and Roy, that's exciting. Okay, so that's great. And you know, prices are like what I can afford, right? I don't want you all to pay something that you can't afford. So that's my thing. I'm going to do something that is going to be more than what you're paying as far as what the market value is. Oh, so Todd says you might need a computer. This is great because you're going to be able to do this on a Chromebook, right? You can put that in a Chromebook or an iPad because you're going to have the digital download where you can get it off the internet. So a lot of different ways that you can access it, you know? So that's cool. And you're not going to need like a supercomputer because it's just going to be a regular, you know, video file. And I'm doing the editing as we speak. But as far as the painting goes, the step-by-step, I'm only about 15 to 20% into it so far. Oh, definitely. I'll let you know, Willie. I'll send you an email. Definitely. That's so exciting and much appreciated. Now, there's going to be options. You could go ahead and purchase the materials needed for the project that don't come with it. There's items that come with the project automatically, but you have the ability to get a package deal and stuff like that on products that you might not have, that sort of thing. So I said to myself, you know, about 2 weeks ago, no more talking about this. This is something that people need out there. You know, not everyone has time. People work and to take my classes. And this is a way to actually take my class and, like Brad said, get in that inner sanctum where I can go ahead and go way deeper with you all. And that's very exciting. So let's go ahead and take off this and see what we have so far, right? Dun, dun, dun. So we're 10:55. I don't know, towards the end of the live streams lately, it's just been getting hotter and hotter, which is kind of like weird, right? Because, you know, it should be getting colder. Bam! So this is where we are right now. Not bad, you know. We're going at a good click. So we do have some hard edges here and there, but we're keeping them. They're our training wheels, right? So we're not getting rid of them just yet. No way. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the covering on her face and we're going to start working on the background a little bit. Hey, why not, right? Let's go ahead and make this happen. Let's see. We're going to put this over. Good thing I have my glasses to see this. You have to be precise here, right? So this is not what we wanted. I put the wrong one. So I want to cover her and leave the background uncovered. So here we go. So we want to make sure that this is hot flashes. Oh my God, hot flashes. Let's see. Nice. I think we got it. Pow! Let's make this happen. Okay. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be darn near close, right? And so we're going to come in. I'm going to get some scrap paper because I don't want to kill my board, right? We don't want to do that. So as you can see, my technique is becoming quite pragmatic, you know, but I think that's a plus, right? What do you guys think? You know, just, you know, streamlining the steps, becoming more efficient, becoming neater. And those who have been with my live stream over the years can see that, how things are getting much neater, much more efficient, and leaving less things to chance. There's a drawback too, you know, if I was a little more, you know, wild and free, you know, like a cowboy, you know, guns blazing, you know, you would get some really cool effects. But I'm not into effects. I'm into, you know, doing the best painting I possibly can. So effects are cool. I'm not against them. But you know what? I don't want to throw darts at a board. I want to be calculating and get a job done correct. Thanks, Brad. Brad says evolution is great, and I appreciate that. Male menopause is a real thing. I'm not ready for that, my friends. That's for sure. Still working out, still eating right, still chasing girls, women, not girls, you know. But they're too fast for me, women, you know. They run too fast, so not very successful. But, you know, what do they say? Lucky at cards, unlucky at love. But I'm not lucky at cards either, so, you know. Oh well, I guess it's all in the art. So, alright, so we need scrap paper. Here's someone's invoice. So what I'm going to do is turn it over. So I have somebody's invoice here. Put that right there. And then I got to have pieces of paper on all sides. So let's make this happen. This is great. I'm going to put this on the YouTube and on my Facebook. I'm going to put this, and I would like for you guys and girls, when you're doing portraits, to have this. Let's see if I can zoom in on this, because this is really crucial. As you can see, you know, knowing these things, these muscles, and looking for them is really going to help you to create portraits that are much more realistic. And like I said, if you're a cattle farmer, you want to know about cows. If you are a race car driver, you want to know about the inner parts of a car. When you're a portrait painter, you want to know the inner parts of the face, of the neck, and the shoulders, because that's where you're going to live, right? So anyway, that's that. So off of my soapbox, right? Get off your soapbox, Tim. Okay. And let's see. Put this right here. Let's see. Male menopause. You're going to have me hit the gym sooner than later. That word scares me. Okay. All right. So, we're saving the board. So we're going to start with the light mixture, and we're going to work our way darker like we did last week. So we're doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Brad says, speaking of cattle, the last calf came this afternoon. Ah, congratulations. So on Brad's farm, he has a brand new calf. That's amazing. So that's just so cool. Okay, so we have some light mixture in here, and let's start making this happen. we want to spray away from the shield, right? And I'm probably about 4 inches away, and I'm just moving slowly from left to right, and you see I went a little crazy over there, but you know, we have plenty of time to even this stuff out. And let's continue here. But you don't want to have too many blowouts like that, so just be wary, everybody. So when COVID calms down, I'm going to have physical classes. That's down the pike. And I'm going to have them here in sunny New Jersey. And I believe I have the ability at a Hobby Lobby. But that's down the line. That's going to be a while before they're available. But for those who, you know, are in the New York area, want to make a trip, it'll be very cool. Raise that air pressure to increase the atomization. And we're just going to work on this side and work on that side. Oh, great. That's fantastic, Willie. That's fantastic. Thank you. They're only, so 3 only, Nameless says 3 only running when you see you, Tim, and me, unfortunately. Now, what is that, Nameless? Oh, I see. So, and me, unfortunately. So Nameless says they're only running when they see you. That's true. That's so true. I am not going to dispute something that I can't, you know. Okay, so we're going to put more light mixture. We're going to go on this side as well. Let's see if I can lower it, because you want to see the whole thing, right, guys and girls? You know, come on, Tim, get with the program. I know. So let's put some more light mixture in here. Oh yes, women, true, they run. When women say, Tim, do you have you have a 401k? And I was like, is that a reducer by Createx? I think I have that. And they don't find that very funny. But what's the great thing about being an artist is that, oh, so Willie says put my name on that list too. Oh, put my name on that list too, Nameless. Is that for the male menopause? I'm not sure. I'm always getting, you know, I'm always misinterpreting conversations, so sorry about that. So you see, we're just slowly darkening it up. There we go. We'll move over to this side. This is going to be a very interesting painting. I'm excited. We're really, you know, some subjects you're actually drawn to, am I right? And I was really drawn to this subject. This shield is really going to create that beautiful hard edge. List of those who women love run from. And as you go, you'll see where certain areas are lighter, and you just aim for those lighter areas. I'm going to put some more light mixture in here. Willie has a good question. Is there ever... Yeah, I think doing the background last is really good. Only if you have it covered, because let's say you do the background last and you don't have a sheet or mask, and you're doing a lot of overspray here and there. It's just going to happen. It's the nature of the beast, right? And so it's going to not look as good as it could. So that's something to be weary of. So yeah, doing it, oh boy, so this is interesting. That's always, so remember what I say, it's always good when you put new ink in your airbrush to always test on a scrap piece of paper, because it looks like there was a little bit of ink collected over here, and I was getting some speckling, but it seems to be resolved now. But so that's me, definitely need to follow my own advice. But that's the great thing about teaching, it keeps you sharp with the fundamentals, and that's important. And Nayla says, same here, Tim. It comes with the distraction of being a successful artist. Yeah, you know, hopefully more successful as time goes by for all of us. And it's great because success is such a relative word, right? It's different for everyone. Some people don't like success. I mean, no, everyone likes success. Some people don't want to be famous, and I'm not saying that I would be famous, but I said I think I would embrace it. I think I would enjoy it. You know, I've always wanted to be as an artist ever since I was a kid. So, I don't know. We'll see. But there's a real price to pay for being famous, right? You know, there's a lot less privacy, stuff like that. More of a, especially this day and age with cancel culture, they'll be looking at every purchase you made, everything you said back in 1978, even though I was 11, you know. They would be like, I can't believe he said that at 11, you know. So yeah, there is a price for being famous this day and age. So backgrounds, yeah, I think as long as you plan it out, Willie, you can save the background for last, but you would have to definitely protect that background. Because, you know, why would you do that? Because you want the background to be separate, in most cases, than the model. So you see, as I did this side, now I'm going to work on this side. When I come darker, then I'm going to do some of the gradations, because as you can see, it's darker towards this corner, down here to the side, and really dark down here below. But we're going to first just tone it, and then as we go medium and then finally dark mixture, we'll really bring it home. Okay, so more light mixture. Normally I would work with this airbrush. Willie just purchased this airbrush, and I appreciate that. This is the Extreme Patriot 105. Same exact inners as this, everything the same, needle, pack valve, trigger, everything's the same, except it has a bigger cup. So in instances like this, you see how the bigger cup would actually be a much better value, you know. And so Nameless says, same here, come with distraction of being a successful artist, and also that he loves backgrounds in his work, and he feels it's missing something and it's too boring, so you need the custom touch of his work. Otherwise, why not just print the copy and hang it on the wall? See, backgrounds are interesting. I was trained, but I wasn't really trained in backgrounds, you know, like landscapes and stuff. So I'm always working to rectify that. And, you know, we all have our weakness and strength in painting. So backgrounds has always been my sort of Achilles heel, but I'm working on it, always improving. And you know, we all have weaknesses in our art, you know. And Nameless also says, can't wait to see how I interpret those sharp hairlines going from her forehead. Oh yeah, that's going to be some really nice paintbrush techniques, I think. Maybe the crow quill, so it'll be fun. Look at this, we're 11:13 already. Time flies when we're having fun, right everybody? Tomorrow's going to be Thursday. That's just crazy. It was just Monday about 5 minutes ago. So next up I'm going to continue covering it, and then we're going to move over to the medium mixture, and I'm going to use the other brush. So now I'm going to start thinking about how it's darker over here and on the top and moving down. See how it's wet and you get that sheen? Just blow some air on it, and this way it doesn't have a chance to stain. Don't give it a chance to stain. But this ink really creates some really beautiful backgrounds. Oh, so I know why, because Mr. Roy, you're having work done. You're unable to paint. Am I great? Am I right? That's probably making it slow, sir. So, Roy, we're gonna have 2 classes next week because you missed this one this week, and we'll work on that together. And also, everyone, this Friday, those who are in the mentorship program, we're going to have a group class. I'm going to email everybody, like a group class, going to be on technology and how it affects your art, okay? And how it can improve your art. All right, so you see how that's going? So Roy, is Whitney Houston? Roy did this amazing painting of Whitney Houston. Just fantastic. I'm not sure if it's completed yet, but oh boy, was that something. Okay, so we still have the light mixture in here. And let's continue while we're painting. Just try and start getting some of the variation of value here. Now with this, I'm probably about 5 to 6 inches away. And where I want more gradation, I actually increase my distance from the airbrush. Okay, so now we are done with the light mixture, and let's go ahead into the medium mixture. Dun da da da. And we are going to use this bad boy right here. We have that big cup. I don't have to worry about running out of ink because I can just go make some more. Let's see. Here we go. Pow! And let's get our medium mixture. I think we might use half a bottle here. I can put triple the amount of ink in this cup here. But a lot of time when you're painting portraits and doing the detail, you don't really have issues, you know. The ink goes really far, but when you're doing backgrounds, it doesn't go as far. So Mr. Todd says, Tim, what needle size is in the Patriot Arrow? The needle size is a .30 needle nozzle combination, but the thing is, it's a different needle that comes with the Extreme Patriot Arrow that's longer, and what it does, it gives you more clearance of the needle from the actual nozzle, which creates more detail. So that's the secret. Well, not a secret anymore. Okay, so here we are, medium mixture, and you're going to see how things really progress as far as value goes. Let's see, I think we could use a magnet here to keep this from bellowing under. Billowing, not bellow, right? Bellow's yelling. Billowing. Remember, even though it might, other airbrushes might have like a .18, doesn't mean that it gives you better detail. There's so many other different, parameters that makes an airbrush a better detail airbrush, or allows you to get better detail. Dan, how's it going? Great to see you, sir. So cool. And so we're just going to continue here. So now when we're working on the variation of the values. Nameless says, what is the graduation? I'm not sure, familiar with the technique, just not the vocabulary. You mean the gradation? How do I get the gradations? And I have a great answer for that, if that's your question, so let me know. A little bit wet there, and I don't like that, so I'm gonna look for my rag, and I don't seem to have one nearby, so I am going to get a new one. Yeah, because it's beating up a little bit on the shield. I don't like that. So you have to be very careful with this. And I'm just going to dab, make sure I don't go near the paper, and just dab that, because some of it kind of accumulated on the shield. And you don't want that going underneath, right? You don't want to cause issues. I'm going to move the, I'm just going to dab it right there. And, okay, so now we can, wrong airbrush. We're doing the medium mixture. Remember, Rome's not built in a day, so if there's any issues, worry about it slowly. Don't try and fix it immediately, because you wouldn't be able to, and you're going to make it worse. I'm going to raise the air pressure because we want more atomization. This means a lot smoother, a lot less grainy, right? And and Nameless says, laughing out loud, never mind, just realized you probably meant texture. Okay, and then Brad says, one of the advantages of working on a horizontal surface. So true, you don't have any dripping, right? You don't have the gravity against you because it's coming straight down. So we're going to stick with this, and I don't think we're going to finish it per se, but we'll get close. And so when we leave, end this at 11:30, we'll see where we are. So I think we're doing well this live stream. I think it's a really good start, thank God. I'm happy about that. So we're going to do several layers of the medium mixture and then come in Oh, gradations, yes. So, yeah, gradation is all in distance, right? So let's say I'm going here and it's dark and I want to gradate to light. So as I'm moving to the lighter area, I'm just going to slowly increase my distance. So you see, as you increase your distance, it gets lighter. So where it's closer, you know, where it's darker, you're closer. And then as you're moving where it's lighter, you're increasing your distance slowly. And as you move down, you're increasing your distance. And that's how you get that smooth gradation. You know, let the airbrush do the work, right? You don't have to do it. So that's cool. And so yeah, we're really doing great here as far as time. But then again, the real work happens when you're modeling the forms in the light mixture for the first 2 or 3 weeks. So we're just mapping out, and it looks pretty good mapping it out, but that just means the real work is afterwards. Think of the first week, right, as a beach landing in World War II, right? Once you have the beach landing and you have it secure, the real fighting is still to come. So I'm saying that because of June 6th just passed, you know, with the anniversary of D-Day in World War II. So in honor of the men and women, well, yeah, the men and women who died, because a lot of women who were field nurses who died. So definitely this honor to them. Of all the countries, you know, and also the soldiers who died in Germany, which was horrible. You know, any death is horrible, and it's just sad that we had to have war. But I'm so thankful for those who fought for the Allies during that time, and I'm sad for all the soldiers who died on both sides, because they had families and whatnot. And yes, Rome was destroyed in a day. According to the movies, yeah, like 35 minutes, right? That's for sure. But Pompeii was destroyed in a day, though, right? So that's true. You know, that was amazing what happened, you know, with Pompeii and Herculaneum. I mean, literally, the gas and the ashes from the volcano, Mount Vesuvius, is it? Actually was going at 400 miles an hour. Those people didn't stand a chance. They couldn't even run away. Even if they had cars, they were goners, right? So I'm going to continue with the medium mixture here, just evening stuff out. Evening? That sounds like night. Evening. Is that a word, evening things out? Or making things even? What's the best way for that? For my linguists out there, my linguist friends. It's really cool how freedom is not free, John said. So true. So true, my friend. So God bless, you know, not just the Americans. I'm not one of those Americans that are like, yeah, we did it. No, we had the Canadians, the French, the Poles, the Brits, right? The Northern Irish, the Canadians, if I didn't mention them, the Australians. So there were a lot of people, and if I missed anybody, I apologize. The Indians, right, from India, and the Chinese. I mean, there was so many involved in all of that, which is fantastic. And so I'm going to lift it up, and I said it, so it must be a word. It's a word now, Willie. So let's lift this up and see what we have so far. And because it is 11:27. And you never want to rush, right? You know, we never want to rush. So we're just going to move all this aside. And so this freehand shield is going to be a mess. You can wipe these down, but make sure you wipe it on top of a paper towel, because as you wipe them down and clean these shields, they will you know, leave residue on whatever table it is. So on a paper towel or a piece of paper would be really good. So let's pull this up. Pa-pow! So there we are. So as you can see, lots of work to be done. You know, we're still in the early going. And so you see, when you darken certain areas, everything else lightens up, right? And so yeah, you can see how much everything, when we darken this area, everything else just really shown how light it is. So that's really crucial. So it's going to be fun bringing this together and you know, working this and, you know, correcting the edges and everything. But we have everything mapped out, which is really good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Brad. I appreciate that so much. And so Brad loves this one. Great choice. Thank you so much. Have a great night, sir. And Willie likes it. I appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, little by little we're getting there. So far it's like, what is it? Tomorrow is the 10th of June already. It was just February, I think, about a week ago. I mean, time is really flying. But is it true as we get older, time goes by a lot faster? Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. And take care, Mr. Roy. Always a pleasure. Take care, Mr. Todd. And thank you so much, John. John says it's a great start. I appreciate it. Yeah, you know, it's all mapping it out. And I think that's important, to have the larger shapes together and, you know, have the mapping out, and then we can go in and really begin to flesh things out. Willie, so great you're here. I'm glad you made it, and you have a great night. And so we're at 11:29, so we'll just hang out. So I have the microphone really close. I think that's working out, right? The fact that we're having the mic close, the sound is much better. So we really picked it up at the end of the live stream. 19 concurrent viewers. Thank you so much. You know, so that's really great. And I think the microphone makes the voice louder and also makes the air conditioners a lot less noisy. It's a bummer because tomorrow it's going to be like 62 degrees. That would have been great. I could have had the live stream without. But watch out for Facebook. I might just do an impromptu daytime live stream. And so keep an eye out for that. And for those in my classes, Friday night is it's going to be a group class. So I'll let you know. And when it be, most likely it'll be at 8 o'clock. Well, everybody, it is 11:30. So I hope you all have a great week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I don't take it lightly. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you have a great weekend coming up. Take care, everybody.